Gee whiz.
Hello, friends. My name is John Henderson. Welcome to this series of old-time radio shows that I'm calling Gee Whiz. These are the stories of the schemes, trials, and loves of the typical American teenagers, Andy Hardy, Archie Andrews, and Henry Aldrich. We're going to start off with an episode of The Aldrich Family from September 15th, 1944. In the episode, they play a popular party game from the time. It's called Forfeits. Everyone puts an item in a pile, maybe like a necklace or a tie. Somebody is chosen as the judge and they sit facing away from the group. Then someone else picks up one of the items and holds it over the judge's head and says, "Heavy, heavy hangs over thy head. What shall the owner do to redeem thy forfeit?" Then the judge gives the owner some kind of act or stunt, like a dare. Sing a song, stand on your head, and if they do it, they get their belonging back. So now that you know how to play forfeits, enjoy The Aldrich Family.
The Aldrich Family, written by Clifford Goldsmith.
Henry Aldrich! Coming, Mother!
Now for the Aldrich Family with Dick Jones as Henry and Jackie Kelk as Homer. Every once in a while, for the fun there is in it, grown-ups like to recall the faraway pleasures of their own teenage days. And always, right in the middle of those memories, there romps a boy like Henry Aldrich. The scene opens on Henry's front lawn.
Listen, Henry, I'm not arguing with you, but why don't you plan to go to the movies with me tonight?
Homer, can I help it if Agnes didn't invite you to her party? Why didn't you dance with her at the dance last Saturday night?
Listen, Henry, if Agnes gave me an invitation on bended knees on a silver platter, I wouldn't go. Do you know what the Lawsons give you to eat at their parties?
Why?
Marshmallows.
Well, I like marshmallows.
Just one marshmallow without anything on it?
Homer, for the last time, I'm going to Agnes's party.
All right. You wait till I get an invitation to go someplace sometime and you weren't invited.
I thought you didn't want to go.
I don't. Can't you have as much pride as I do?
Look, Homer, why don't you call up somebody? Why don't you call up Marie Saunders and ask her for a date?
Who? Marie Saunders?
Why not? You're crazy about her. You know you are.
Marie Saunders? Gee whiz, Henry, I've never even spoken to her, and she's never spoken to me.
Well, you're always following her around in school.
I am not. Gee whiz, is it my fault she's always walking in front of me? And besides, Henry, you're just trying to change the subject.
Homer, for the last time, I'm going.
Okay, then, okay. I always thought you were a social climber, and now I know it.
Why did you call me Homer? You're going to live to resent that.
Agnes, is this a swell party?
Do you really like it, Charlie? Did you get some marshmallows?
Sure.
All right, everybody, quiet. Quiet. Let's get on with the game. That's what I say. Is Henry's church name a forfeit to somebody?
It's my turn, old boy.
Now sit down, Henry. I'm holding somebody's forfeit. Heavy, heavy hangs over thy head. What shall the owner do to redeem his fortune?
Well, does it belong to a male or a female?
A female, I think.
Yeah, boy.
What does she have to do, Henry?
Well,
Make it good, Henry. Make it good.
here's what the owner has to do. She has to go for telephone, see?
Yeah.
She has to go for telephone.
Boy, am I bored. Boy, do I wish I had something to do.
Well, Homer, you can at least get up off the floor, can't you?
But, Mother, what is there to do sitting up?
Is there any reason why you can't read something?
Gee, everybody else. Gee, why don't we move out of this town?
Is it my fault you aren't more popular?
I'm popular.
And what are you lying on the floor for? Go answer the phone.
Now?
Yes, dear. Please go and see who it is.
Okay. If it's for Father, what'll I say?
What do you mean, what do you say?
Are you in or are you out? Hello?
Hello? Is this Homer Brown?
Yes, who is this? Kathleen?
Oh, no. Whatever made you think it was Kathleen?
It isn't Kathleen?
Can't you guess who it is?
No.
This is Marie.
Who?
Marie Saunders.
Well, I'll be
Do you
darned.
mind my calling?
No.
Well, Homer,
What?
would you think I was terrible if I asked you something?
No.
You wouldn't like to see me tomorrow afternoon, would you?
Who, you? Oh, gee whiz.
Homer, what's happened?
Nothing. I just knocked over the telephone table. Sure, I'd like to see you tomorrow. Do you want me to come up to your house?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wait just a minute.
Sure, I don't mind waiting. Hello? Hello, did you change your mind?
Hello? Homer?
Yes, Marie.
Listen, Homer, they said, how about the Haven's drugstore?
Okay.
It's about 4:15?
Okay, sure.
All right.
Is this really Marie Saunders?
Yes.
The one with the yellow hair?
Yes.
Oh, gee whiz.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, boy.
Homer! What was that?
I dropped the phone right out of my hand.
Henry, I was never so embarrassed in my life. I nearly died.
Did Homer believe you, Kathleen?
Of course he believed me, but my goodness, I thought I'd die. Now, everybody, it's Charlie Clark's turn to name a farce.
It's my turn, old boy.
Sit down, Charlie.
I'm sitting. Go ahead.
Gee, when I think of Homer waiting for Marie Saunders in the Haven drugstore all tomorrow afternoon.
Can't you just see him, Henry? But if Marie Saunders ever finds out that Kathleen put in that call...
All right, now quiet, everybody. Quiet. Kathleen's going to start.
Heavy, heavy hangs over thy head. What shall the owner do to redeem his fortune?
Well, does it belong to a male or a female?
To a female. Oh, boy, am I shaking all over.
Well, the owner of the article over my head has to go to the telephone and call Homer's mother.
That's good, Charlie. That's good.
And when she answers,
Yes?
she has to say she's Marie Saunders' mother.
Oh, my goodness.
And she has to tell Mrs. Brown that Homer has been bothering her daughter, and will she please see to it that he stops it?
Oh, boy, that's wonderful, Charlie. Who has to do it?
Agnes has to.
Oh, no, you're not going to shove me out on any limb and cook my goose.
But, Agnes, you have to, or you won't get your bracelet back.
It's so late, Charlie. Maybe Homer's mother's going to bed.
Okay, then phone her in the morning.
In the morning? Spoil her breakfast?
All you have to do is raise the juice with her, Agnes. Tell her that Marie is practically having a breakdown because Homer bothers her so much.
Have some more toast, Henry?
No, thank you, Mother.
Well, Henry, did you have a good time at the party last night?
Oh, boy, didn't we? Oh, boy, Mother, do you know what we did?
I haven't time to listen now, dear. Sam, your breakfast is getting cold.
Well, oh, boy, every time I think of it, it's the best darn thing you ever heard of.
You certainly must have had a good time.
Well, let me tell you about
Well,
it.
Alice, leave it to Will Brown to start the day off all right.
What has Will Brown done now, Sam?
I've never seen Will so upset.
Who is, Mr. Brown? Homer's father?
Yes, Henry, and I happen to be talking to your mother.
That's all right. Excuse me.
Apparently, about 5, Brown had a phone call from Mrs. Saunders.
From whom? Marie Saunders' mother?
Henry, what did I just say about interrupting me?
I'm sorry, Father.
Sam, what did Mrs. Saunders phone her about?
He didn't say, but apparently she took Elizabeth over the coals about something regarding Homer. And what do you think Will wants to do?
What?
He wants to know whether he can sue Mrs. Saunders for slander.
Is that good or bad, Father? I mean, well, was it slander?
I don't know. I asked Will Brown what he said, and he said he wouldn't tell me unless I first told him it was slander.
Henry, I want you to eat your cereal. This doesn't concern you in the slightest. Is that clear, dear?
The only thing is that...
Hey, Henry.
Homer, is that you?
Yeah, haven't you finished your breakfast yet? Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich.
Good morning, Homer. My, but you certainly seem to be feeling good.
I am. Boy, Henry, am I glad I decided not to go to that party last night.
You are, Homer? What happened?
Don't you wish you knew? And listen, if you haven't finished your breakfast, I'm going on. I want to get to school early and have a chance to see. I want to get there.
Homer, about how long ago did you leave home?
About a half an hour ago. I've been over telling Charlie Clark something. And, Henry, I'll tell you about it when I see you at school.
No one has any right to feel that good at this hour of the morning.
Yeah,
It's just temporary, Father. He isn't going to be feeling that good by this afternoon.
Henry, now tell us all about what you did that was so funny last night.
Why, well, it wasn't anything, Mother. We just... Is Mary out in the kitchen?
I believe she is.
Well, excuse me for a second. I want to see whether I can help her cook my eggs. Mary!
What is it you want, Henry?
Listen, Mary, could you do something for me?
Henry, if you want to borrow any money, I haven't a cent.
It's much more simple than money, and would you be willing to phone Mrs. Brown?
Why?
Well, all you have to do is say you're Marie Saunders' mother and apologize for bothering her.
Oh, no, Henry.
You won't? Not even if... Would you be willing to call Homer?
What for?
Well, he's expecting to meet... I mean, you know how crazy he is about you, Mary.
He is?
Sure. He practically worships you. Just ask him to have a date with you at the Havens Drugstore at 4:15 this afternoon.
Why?
Well, all you have to do is tell him somebody asked you to come over to her place.
Why, Henry Aldrich, I won't do anything of the kind.
But, Mary, let me tell you what happened last night.
Hey, Henry.
What do you want, Homer?
I want you to do something for me.
I haven't got time. I gotta go to class.
But, Henry, here's all you have to do.
Well, first, Homer, I've been thinking things over, and I want to tell you something.
Not till I get through telling you about this. What do you really think of Marie Saunders?
Why?
Well, gee, I think she's the prettiest girl in the school. But have you ever noticed that she's sort of peculiar?
Peculiar?
I mean, on the telephone, for instance. She can be just as nice to you as though she was crazy about you. And then you meet her here at school, and boy, she's so bashful she won't even look at you.
Well, look, Homer, let me tell you something.
Henry, will you stop interrupting? All you have to do is find her the first chance you have and give her this note.
What does it say?
What difference does that make? Just find her and give it to her. She'll understand.
But, Homer...
Henry?
Oh, hi, Kathleen.
Henry, has he caught on yet?
No.
What's that you're carrying out?
Nothing. It was just sort of a note.
Oh, my goodness, I was just talking with Agnes, and she said his mother swallowed the whole thing, hook, line, and sinker.
Kathleen, I hope you don't think there's anything funny about this.
What, Henry?
Frankly, I don't think you should have started this whole darn thing.
Why, Henry Aldrich, it was all your idea. You're the one that told me to phone him and say I was Marie.
Sure, but I never dreamed you'd... Listen, Kathleen, would you be willing to have a date with Homer this afternoon?
Oh?
You know how crazy Homer's always been about you, don't
About
you?
me?
Well, sure. He practically worships you.
Homer does?
Sure. And don't you think the least you can do is be at the Havens when he gets there this afternoon?
Oh, no, Henry. And what's more, if you think you can put all the blame for this on to me, you're very, very much mistaken. Goodbye.
But, Kathleen, you're just taking it in the wrong way. Homer, you're not to eat your lunch so fast.
I'm in a hurry, Mother.
Are you sure you told me the whole truth about this awful thing, dear?
Sure, Mother. I wouldn't make a thing like that up.
Will, did you hear that?
Homer, are you sure you didn't phone this girl, that she phoned you?
Sure, Father. Don't you remember last night when I was lying on the floor? Well, I've got to go. Goodbye.
Homer, you can't leave without eating your cup custard.
I'm going to eat it, Mother. I'm going to take it right along with me.
Dear, you're not going to take that good custard cup out of the street.
I know it. I'm dumping it into my hand. Goodbye.
Homer!
Homer!
I won't spill it on anything, and I won't be back this afternoon till maybe 6 or 6:30.
Will, I can't for the life of me understand why you won't believe me.
Well, it isn't that I doubt you, Elizabeth. I'm simply thinking things over, and I don't believe Homer.
And this morning when Marie Saunders' mother phoned me, your first impulse was to sue her.
Yes, that was my first impulse, but since then I've had a second impulse.
And may I ask why our own son would make up a story that Marie begged him for a date if she didn't?
Well, in the first place, you see Homer from a mother's point of view. And only a mother... I know Homer better than you do. The boy isn't as popular as he'd like to be. He's lonesome, but he's got too much pride to admit it.
Well, dear, I'm sorry, but I believe.
Now, wait, Elizabeth. Tell me honestly, why would any girl want to phone Homer?
And that, Will, shows how little you know your son.
Well, I know girls. Hello?
Hello, is Homer Brown there?
Who?
Homer, is this Elm 232?
Yes, but Homer isn't here.
Well, this is Mary Aldrich. When he comes in, could you tell him if he is awfully busy this afternoon? I'd like to meet him down at the Havens Drugstore.
Today? Homer?
Yes, I just thought it'd be nice if we had a soda together. And when you see him, will you tell him?
I will.
Well, thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Elizabeth,
Yes, Will.
our number is Elm 232, isn't it?
Yes, dear.
Well, I guess that wasn't a mistake then.
Who was it?
Why, just a girl for Homer. Though apparently she's changed her mind. Hello? Homer's new...
Just tell him I'd like to see him at the
Havens. Who is this?
It's Kathleen Anderson. I just thought maybe he'd like to sit down and have me have some ice cream with him.
Yes?
Will you tell him, Mr. Brown?
Now, just a minute.
Yes, Mr. Brown?
Are you sure it's Homer you want to sit down and have ice cream with?
Oh, yes.
Very well, I'll put you down. Goodbye.
Bye.
Elizabeth!
Yes, Will.
Apparently, I've been misjudging Homer. I don't know what it is, but the boy's got something.
Jolie, love. What do you want, Henry? Boy, I've been looking for you all lunch hour. Would you be willing to put in a phone call for me?
No.
Well, you know how crazy Homer Brown is about you.
About me?
Yeah. He practically worships you.
Me? Really?
Sure. Would you be willing to meet him at the Havens at 4:15 this afternoon?
No, Henry.
Why not? He's really a very swell guy once you get to know him.
He is? You mean he isn't the way he looks?
Oh, no. And, boy, if you only knew how crazy he is about you. Oh, hi, Homer. Aren't you going home for lunch?
Homer, I've got to go in this barber shop here.
Hello, Homer. Homer? Well, my goodness, it certainly doesn't seem as though he's crazy to see me.
But that's how bashful he is. As soon as he saw you, he wanted to hide.
Just the same. It certainly wouldn't be very much fun to go out with someone like that.
Hey, Henry,
What do you want, Charlie?
did you see Homer go in the barber shop there?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think he ordered? A shave and a lilac water massage.
Hello? Hello. Is this Alice Aldrich? This is Elizabeth Brown.
Oh, yes, Elizabeth.
Alice, I want to ask you something, and I want a perfectly frank answer.
Oh, of course.
Tell me, what do you think of Mrs. Saunders?
Mrs. Saunders? Oh, I think she's perfectly lovely.
You do?
Yes, and she has a darling daughter.
You think so?
Yes, why?
For no reason, Alice. Only her name happens to be coming up for membership in the women's club next week, and
Yes?
I don't want to be prejudiced just because Will has finally decided not to threaten her husband with a fuse. But frankly, she called me this morning and accused Homer of bothering her daughter. As though it's my fault that all the girls in town want to make dates with him.
They do?
Oh, the phone rings morning at night.
It does?
And Alice, when I called Mrs. Saunders back this afternoon, she talked just as though she'd never heard of me before.
Well, my goodness. Elizabeth, do you suppose she's been overdoing?
I don't know, but the point is, do you want anyone like that in the club?
Hello? Hello.
Hello, William Brown speaking.
Oh, hello, Mr. Brown. Is Mrs. Brown by any chance there?
No, sir, this is my office. You'll have to call our house.
Well, I did, and there's no answer. And could I leave a very important message?
Who is this?
Why, it's... this is a very close friend of Mr. and Mrs. Saunders.
Mr. and Mrs. Saunders?
Yes, sir. And Mr. Saunders wanted me to phone and say his wife is very sorry she bothered Mrs. Brown this morning, and she didn't mean any word of it.
I see.
Yes, sir.
And this is a friend of Mr. Saunders.
Yes, sir.
Just a second. Mr. Saunders is right here in my office. I'll let him talk to you.
He's where?
Henry Aldrich will be back in just a few minutes. But now let's listen to Hourly Soul from Porgy and Bess.
Now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Homer Brown, because of a practical joke played on him at a party last night, is under the impression that he has a date this afternoon with Marie Saunders. Mrs. Brown is under the impression Marie's mother objects to Homer's attention. And Henry wishes very much that he had had no part in the joke. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room.
Henry, was that you that just came in the front door?
Yes, Mother. Has anyone phoned me?
No, dear. Whom were you expecting a call from?
Oh, Homer or Kathleen Anderson or Geraldine Love?
No, dear. May I ask what the trouble is?
The trouble? Nothing's the trouble, Mother.
Well, I know you didn't eat any lunch, and here you are at 4 p.m. with a face a mile long.
Mother, do you think girls have the right attitude?
Toward what?
Toward anything. Yeah, I don't know. You ask a girl to do something, and they all say no. Boy, all they think about is themselves.
Well, why don't you go out to the icebox and get something to eat and see whether you don't feel better?
Mother, if I ate everything in the kitchen, I still wouldn't feel any better. And besides, boy, I've got to go out.
May I ask where you're going?
I'm just out. I'm going to try one more girl. Then the deuce with them all.
Hello?
Hello, Alice. This is Sam. What was it you wanted?
I wanted?
I have a message here saying I'm to phone you.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot. It's about Henry. Dear, I'm finally convinced we ought to do something.
What's the trouble?
Sam, I think he's getting a complex.
A complex? What about?
Well, dear, I'm not sure, but I think it's about Homer. You know how terribly popular Homer is these days?
Homer is? I didn't know a thing about it.
Well, neither did I until a little while ago. And Sam, apparently Henry must know about it, too.
Well, what do you want me to do? Call him up and try to make a date?
Dear, this is nothing to laugh about. My first impulse was to suggest that we send him to some other school where he'd get a brand new set of girls. But I don't think that would do it.
No?
No, because frankly, I think the cause of the whole trouble is his look.
His look? Well, that's something we can't help.
Rose suit.
My old what?
That gray suit of yours, Sam, that we had fixed over for Henry to wear. He's fought it from the start, and I think his instinct was right.
Now, Alice, we went into that thoroughly just before school started. Henry was to get 25 cents a week extra, provided he was willing to wear that suit.
All right, dear. But we didn't know how the girls would react. And I think the thing to do is to get him a new suit, even if it means reducing his allowance.
All right. Tell him beginning next week his allowance will be frozen at the old level.
Mother, I give you my word, I don't understand it. I don't understand any part of it.
Now, Marie, if you did call Homer Brown, why don't you tell me you didn't get it off your mind?
Mother, he's never even said hello to me, and I've never said even that much to him.
Well, there's certainly something about this I don't understand.
Exactly what did his mother say when she phoned you?
Frankly, she began just as though she was out of her head. And I told her, now here. Do you know who you're talking to?
And what did she say?
Several things.
Oh, I'll see who it is, Mother. Hello? Who? Homer? Oh, is this Homer Brown?
Is that Homer? Now, Ree, let me talk to that young man.
Now then, Mary Aldrich, is there anything I can do for you?
Why, the soda's all I want right now, Mr. DeHaven. I've already had 2. I think I'll wait a little.
And what can I do for you, Kathleen?
I don't think I'll order anything more right now either. But I may want another when the person I'm waiting for gets here.
Geraldine?
I'll have another one. After all, I got here a little late. Who is it you're waiting for, Kathleen? Why, just one of the boys I promised to meet here. Whom are you waiting for? Just one of the boys. Isn't it strange? We all have dates here at the same time. Yes, isn't it? Mr. DeHaven, you haven't seen any boy waiting here, have you? I mean...
No, I haven't seen anyone except Homer Brown.
Oh, just Homer? Just Homer? Just Homer?
He disappeared about 20 minutes ago.
Is that right? My goodness, Betty, is Homer coming in now, is it? Is he where? Henry Aldrich, is that you?
Yes, Mel. Isn't Homer here?
No, he isn't. I'll say he isn't.
Is that right?
Henry, may I speak to you for just a second?
To me, Kathleen? Do you mind my asking what you three girls are waiting here for?
Well, you certainly ought to know Henry Aldrich.
Who, I? Why, I tell you, Agnes, would you like to have a soda?
Agnes, are you here to see Homer? Yes, okay. I thought I'd just come over and cheer him up. Is he heartbroken?
Yes, he is. Isn't that queer? Steve, where's the phone?
Henry, do you mind my asking if you're crazy?
Mary, there isn't anything to worry about. Hello?
Number 2.
Elm 232.
Elm 232.
Are you playing a practical joke on me?
Agnes, you don't have to raise your voice like that.
Oh, you like that, Agnes?
Hello?
Get out of this food, Mary.
Who is this, Mary?
No, it's Henry. Is this Homer?
Yes, sure. I got a message to Mary's phone.
Mary? My sister?
And when you see her, tell her I'm sorry, but you'll have to make it some other time.
Listen, Homer, what are you doing?
Who, me? I'm washing.
You're washing at a time like this? Don't you ever keep your engagement?
I'm going out to dinner.
Where?
At Marie Saunders. What do you think I'm washing for?
Is that right?
And do you know what my father just decided?
What?
He said any boy that's as popular as I am ought to have his allowance increased.
Increase?
Boy, Henry, am I rich. And do you know what Marie's family and my family just decided?
What?
Somebody's been doing some funny business. And boy, if we find out who it was, do we pity them?
Is that right? But, Homer, I'm glad you're happy, though.
I'll say I am, and I hope you are. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Probably want to take care of this check that I showed him.
Oh, yes, Mr. DeHaven. I'll take care of it. Do you mind if I sit down for a minute?
The Aldrich Family was rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies.
That was the Aldrich Family from 1944. Next, we have an episode of Archie Andrews. In this episode, they mention a detective called the Fat Man.
But when she grabbed my arm in the airport at Merida, Yucatan, I had a hunch that although the mistake was hers, I was the one who lived to regret it.
So enjoy this episode of Archie from September 1st, 1949.
There are a lot of hearty laughs available each week for listeners who tune to the adventures of Archie Andrews, as you'll find out for yourself in a moment. Why, even the most serious humans have been known to chuckle at the mirthful adventures of this lovable teenager and his ridiculous friend, Jughead. And here's a case where laughs have paid off. 2 years ago, Swift & Company sponsored Archie Andrews on NBC Saturday mornings at 10:30, where it earned an average Nielsen rating of 9.2. Then last summer, it held down a Wednesday evening spot replacing the great Gildersleeve for Kraft. Again, it proved its ability to draw audiences and rating points with a 13-week Nielsen average of 8.0. It's no surprise, then, that a Gilbert survey among young people revealed that Archie is their favorite youth program and their fourth most popular of all radio programs. No advertiser need be told the power of this important pressure group in swinging sales toward a favored product. So let Archie Andrews take your product with him on his weekly visit to millions of American families. Make this friendly welcome program your radio salesman right in your customer's home. But now, listen to Archie and his friends.
Hello? Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death. Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
There he is again, the young millions of readers of Archie's comic magazines know and love so well, Archie Andrews and all his gang. And now for our weekly visit to Riverdale. It's Sunday morning as we look in on the Andrews home, and at the moment we find our boy Archie stretched out on the living room floor, deeply absorbed in the funny papers.
And super successes. And his friend says that he's going to...
Archie, you had the paper. Archie, I said you had the paper.
Archie, do you hear me?
Oh, Dad. Hiya, Dad.
Hiya.
And then the productor is spending.
Archie, would you please take your nose out of that funny paper for a minute? Nothing can be that funny.
Oh, but it is funny, Dad. You see, Super Duck says to his friend
Archie, at
that
the
he's
moment,
going...
I am not interested in Super Duck. I'm trying to find the financial section of the paper. Now, have you seen it?
The financial section?
Yes.
With the real estate news in it?
Yes.
And all the classified ads?
Yes.
And the stock market reports?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Oh, fine. Archie, are you sure you haven't seen it?
Well, sure he hasn't seen what, dear?
Oh, Mary, I'm looking for the financial section of the paper, dear.
You're sitting on it.
Mary, I know that as well as I... You're sitting on it. Oh, good grief. I guess I was sitting on it, wasn't I?
Yes. But, Fred, what I want to know is, what would you like for dinner?
Dinner? We just finished breakfast.
Oh, Fred, that was almost 2 hours ago. And if I don't start cooking dinner now, it'll never get done in time.
Yeah, I'm hungry already.
Archie, be quiet. Mary, I have an idea.
Yes?
Suppose you don't cook any dinner today.
Don't cook any dinner?
Huh?
On Sunday?
But, Dad, I'm hungry. I'm a grown boy. I can't go without...
Archie.
Yes, Dad.
Mary, suppose we go down to Henderson's restaurant on Main Street and have our Sunday dinner out today.
Sunday dinner out?
Uh-huh.
Fred, do you mean it?
Yes, Mary, I do. Last time we started to have dinner out, half your family dropped in on us and we never had any dinner at all. Now, today, let's go downtown and eat in style, huh?
But, Fred, how sweet.
But, Dad,
That's a wonderful idea.
But, Dad,
you're the sweetest man in the whole world to take us out to dinner.
But, Dad, I just want...
Archie, what is it you want? Don't you like the idea of going out to dinner?
Well, sure, Dad, it's terrific, but... Well, I just remembered I invited Jughead to have dinner here today.
Well, fine. He can just take... Jughead? Oh, Archie, you didn't.
Well, yes, Dad. I asked Mom a few days ago, and she said it would be all right.
Well, yes, but I had no idea you'd want to eat out.
Great. Well, Archie, look, I am not going to let Jughead nor anyone else upset our plans for a nice Sunday dinner down at Henderson. So you can just call Jughead and tell him he can't have dinner here.
Well, okay, Dad, if you say so.
I do so say. And now, Mary, go put on your best dress and hat and powder your nose.
Okay.
Today, the Andrews are dining out in style. Well, here we are, folks. Hope we can get a table.
Oh, Fred, we're lucky. There are several empty tables.
Yeah, and am I hungry?
Now, Archie, be patient.
Good afternoon, sir. Table for three?
Yes, please. Table for three.
Yes, sir. Right this way.
Come on, Archie. Come on, Mary.
I am, Dad. Boy, am I starved.
Here you are. Nice table for three.
That's fine.
Fred.
Huh?
This is a little too near the door. We'll be sitting in a draft.
Well, maybe you're right. Waiter, do you have another table? My wife thinks this is too near the door.
Too near the door? Okay, mister. There's another table right over here.
Come on, Archie.
I am, Dad. And boy, am I starved.
Yeah.
Here you are, son. Nice table for three, not too near the door.
Fine, and thanks.
Fred.
Huh?
That's too near the kitchen. We hear all the noises and smell all the food.
Oh, all right, Mary. Waiter, my wife thinks this is too near the kitchen.
Oh, she does, huh? Very well, sir. I have another table right this way.
Come on, Archie. Come on, Mary. He's giving us another table.
Yeah, and am I starved?
Here you are, sir. A nice table for three, not too near the door and away from the kitchen.
Yeah, this is fine. Yes, sir.
This table's right under that fan.
But, Mary,
Fred, do you want your napkins and soup blowing all over the place?
Well, I can't.
Fred.
All right, dear. Waiter. My wife says this table is too near the fan.
Too near the fan. Mister, look, do you want to buy this table or just have dinner at it?
I'm just going to have dinner at it, and I don't see the need for sarcasm.
Fred, don't start any argument.
Mary, did you hear what
this
he said?
table. It's as good as any other.
Good as any... But you were the one who's... Oh, me, what's the use?
So do you want this table or not?
Yes, waiter, yes. We'll take this table.
All right.
Well, glad you made up your mind.
Yes. Glad I made up my mind. Mary,
Me too. I'm starved.
All right, Archie. You don't have to say it 10 times.
But I only
Here
said
are your
that
menus, sir.
Oh, thank you. Now, take your menu, Archie.
Well, thanks, Dad.
Here you are, my dear.
Thank you, dear.
Hey, this looks good. And boy, am I...
Archie.
Okay, Dad, okay.
Ready to order now, sir?
I don't see why not. Mary, what would you like?
Just a minute, dear. I'm still looking.
All right, dear. Archie, see anything you like?
Not yet, Dad.
Well, waiter, I'll give you my order while my wife and son are deciding.
Good.
I'll take this porterhouse steak smothered in onions and...
Huh?
That's $4.
I know it, dear.
I'm sure the roast beef is just as good, and it's much cheaper.
Mary, I don't...
Fred, for $4, I could feed the whole family.
Oh, yeah, all right. Waiter, give me the roast beef, please.
I thought you said porterhouse steaks.
Yes, but my wife changed my... I changed my mind. I want the roast beef.
Roast beef? What vegetable you want, peas or carrots? We're all out of carrots.
I'll take the...
All out of carrots?
Well, I'll have to take peas.
Right.
Peas.
What kind of potato? French fried, boiled, or baked? We're all out of baked and French fries.
Oh, great. I'll take the boiled potato.
Boiled. Now, what do you want for dessert?
Oh, some pie, I suppose.
Apple, lemon, or huckleberry?
Which one aren't you out of?
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw some apple out in the kitchen.
All right, make it apple.
Or was that a piece of lemon pie?
Okay, make it lemon
Or maybe
pie.
it was huckleberry.
Mister, make it huckleberry. I don't care.
Come to think of it, we're all out of pies.
Waiter, perhaps we should have come down here with a picnic lunch.
Oh, that'd be silly. You could stay home and been comfortable.
Yes, I'm beginning to think that's what we should have done. Look, just bring me a couple of donuts.
Couple of donuts. Plain or sugared?
Let's not go into that again. Any kind you're not out of.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad that's settled. Now, Mary, what would you like, dear?
Well, I'm still trying to decide, dear.
Great. Archie, you made up your mind yet?
Oh, sure, Dad. I think I'll have some of these pig's knuckles and sauerkraut.
Yes, sir. Pig's knuckles and...
Archie!
Huh?
You'll have no such thing. There's a dozen better dishes on that menu than pig's knuckles and sauerkraut.
But I like pig's knuckles and sauerkraut.
Never mind whether you like them or not. They'll make you sick. Now, you order something sensible.
She was okay. I'll have the cold lobster.
All right, one cold...
Archie, you do no such thing.
But, Mom, I like cold...
Archie, it'll make you sick. You order something else.
She was okay. Give me the chicken chow mein.
All right, chicken...
No, Archie, you can't have that either.
But, Mom,
Mary, will you quit babying the boy? He won't get ptomaine poisoning.
Well, I know that, but he might as well eat something that's good for him instead of all that fancy stuff.
But, Mary,
and if he gets sick, I'm that has to care for him, not you.
No, Mary,
Mister, are you ready to order now, or should I come back?
Waiter, I thought we were ready to order, but I guess we aren't. Would you come back in a few minutes?
Yes, sir. But I'm a busy man. Very busy.
Mary, why do you have to start picking on...
Fred, I'm not starting anything. I simply will not have that boy filling himself with pig's knuckles or cold lobster.
All right, dear. But we can't spend all day making up our minds. That waiter is a very busy man, he said, and he's getting a little annoyed with us. Now, Archie, pick something else.
She was okay, Dad. Let's see. This fried chicken sounds good.
All right. Any objections, Mary?
No, chicken's fine.
All right. What are you having, Mary?
I think the lamb chop.
All right. Now we're all set. Now, where's that waiter?
Over there, Dad.
You better call him, dear.
Yes, dear, I am. Waiter. Waiter. Waiter.
Mister, I am not deaf.
I was beginning to wonder.
What was that?
Nothing, not a thing. We're ready to order now.
All right. Now, do you still want the roast beef?
Yes, and my son wants the fried chicken.
Fried chicken, yes, sir.
And lamb chops for my wife.
Not too well done.
Lamb chops not too well done, yes, ma'am.
And whatever vegetables or potatoes you happen to have.
Yes, sir.
And we'll order our coffee and dessert later.
All right, sir, fine.
Gee whiz, Dad. Can I change the fried chicken?
Change it to what?
To spare ribs. I just saw the spare ribs, and boy, do I love spare ribs.
Oh, is that all right with you, Mary?
Oh, I suppose so.
All right, waiter, make that spare ribs instead of fried chicken.
Yes, sir, spare ribs instead of chicken. All right, sir.
Oh, gee whiz.
Archie, what now?
Well, I just noticed they have hamburger steak.
Now, Archie,
Fred, let him have what he likes.
Oh, me.
All right, waiter, no spare ribs. Make it hamburger steak. Yes, a hamburger steak. Will that be all?
Yes, that's all.
Gee whiz.
But, Archie, you're not going to change your mind again.
But, Dad, they have pork chops, and
Archie, this waiter is a busy man.
But I love pork chops.
Archie, I
Fred,
won't...
let the boy have pork
But we
chops.
could be here all week. I don't want to rush you, but are you ready to order now or not?
Oh, waiter, look, you better give us a couple more minutes to decide once and for all, huh?
Yes, sir. Few more minutes. I don't know why people can't make up their minds.
Now, Archie, listen to me. I can see there is something I have to explain to you.
Yes, Dad?
Now, son, this is a restaurant, not your own dining room. That is a waiter who works for a living, not your mother who rushes out to the kitchen to get you whatever you like.
Gee whiz, Dad, I know that.
Then, for Pete's sake, make up your mind what you want and stop all this nonsense. If we keep this up much longer, that waiter will put arsenic in our food, and I won't blame him.
Okay, Dad, okay.
Okay. Now, in the past 2 minutes, you changed from fried chicken to spare ribs to hamburger steak to pork chops. Now, just what do you want to eat?
Pig's knuckles and sauerkraut.
Archie, your mother said you can't have that.
She was okay. Make it the fried chicken.
All right. Now, why didn't you say that 10 minutes ago?
Oh, Fred, there's the waiter. Better catch him.
Oh, all right. Waiter.
Mister, please, not so much noise.
But only what is...
Are you ready to order now?
Yes, waiter. We're ready to order. I want the roast beef.
Roast beef.
My wife wants the lamb chops.
Lamb chops.
My son wants some...
Hello.
Oh, good grief. Jughead.
What'd you expect? The fat man?
Oh, fine. No, Jughead, I did not expect the fat man or the skinny man nor you either.
She was hiya, Jughead. Hi, Archie.
Hello, Jughead.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Andrews.
Jughead, what are you doing here anyway?
I come over to have dinner with you.
Oh, good. For a minute, I thought you were... Have dinner with us? Jughead, what are you talking about?
About having dinner with you. Archie told me to come down here for dinner.
What?
Archie, did you tell Jughead that?
Well, gee whiz, sure, Dad. You told me to tell him he couldn't have dinner at our house, so I told him to meet us here.
Oh, good grief. Archie, I meant you should invite him for dinner some other Sunday, not to come down here.
I didn't
the boys here now. Don't make a scene.
Mary, I'm not
Mister,
making...
are you ready to order now or not?
No, waiter, I guess not. Not until we settle something. Please give us just a few minutes more.
Yes, sir. Very well, sir. A few minutes more. Why don't some people stay home?
Now, Jughead, I want to explain to you.
Fred, there's nothing to explain. The boy's here, and you can't send him home. What would his parents say?
Why, they just say that we... All right, Mary. Jughead, you may have dinner with us.
Thank you, Miss Andrews.
Don't mention it, please. Now, pick up that menu and choose something you like, and don't be all day about it.
I won't. I want the porterhouse steak.
All right. Porterhouse steak? Jughead, that steak costs $4.
Fred, don't be rude.
Rude? Mary, it's $4.
The boy is our guest.
But
you
$4?
can't discuss money now.
But $4?
Fred.
All right, Jughead. You may have the porterhouse steak.
With onions.
All right, with onions. Oh, as soon as I get that waiter back here, maybe we'll finally get to order some food.
Oh, by the way, Archie, did Veronica get in touch with you? Veronica? She was no. Why?
Where the dickens is that guy?
I saw her this morning, and she said she was going to call you about something important.
He'll be here in a minute.
Something important? Gee whiz, maybe she's trying to call me right now.
Waiter.
I better go call her.
Waiter.
Archie, where are you going?
Waiter.
Call Veronica, Mom. I'll be right back.
Waiter! Mister, not so much noise. As I told you before, I'm not deaf.
Yes, waiter, I know.
I happen to be a very busy man.
Yes.
Very busy.
Yes, I understand. And I happen to be getting to be a very hungry man.
That's no fault of mine. Now, are you ready to order?
Yes, waiter. We certainly most are ready to order. If we wait any longer, we'll all be dead of malnutrition. Now, my son's friend here wants a porterhouse steak.
Ain't you Hyman Jones' nephew?
That's right. See, you're Mr. Thompson, aren't you?
Oh, fine. Look, wait.
Whoa. So you're Hyman's nephew. Whoa. You sure have grown.
Yes. I'm growing all the time.
Oh, me. Waiter,
What was it they called you? Pinhead? Slughead?
Jughead.
Oh, yeah, Jughead. Yeah, I remember now, yeah.
My real name is Forsyth P. Jones II.
Yeah. Your Uncle Hyman's very proud of you, you know. Hyman says you're the smartest one in the family.
Oh, great. Look, waiter, would you mind?
And how is your Uncle Hyman?
Oh, he's fine, thanks.
He working yet?
No, but he expects to find something any year now.
Yeah, same old Hyman.
Waiter,
How's your father?
Fine, thanks.
And your mother?
Waiter, I'm starting to...
Fine,
And your Aunt Sophie?
Fine.
Waiter, look! How long is this family reunion going on? We want to eat.
You want to eat?
Yes.
You want to eat? Mister, look, I've been waiting to take your order for 20 minutes.
Waiter, I've been trying to give you our order. Now, if you're ready, I'll order, and you and Jughead can go through his family album some other time.
Okay.
Okay. I want the roast beef. My wife wants lamb chops. Jughead wants the porterhouse steak. My son wants, Archie, what did you finally decide you want? Good grief, where is Archie?
Oh, Betty went to make a phone call.
Phone call? Mary, who's he calling at a time like this?
Veronica. Jughead just told him she was looking for him.
Fine.
Mister, are you ready to order or not?
Yes, waiter, yes, we'll order. I think my son decided to take spare ribs.
Oh, Fred, no. I think he picked the pork chop. See, I think it was pig's knuckles.
Jug, you weren't even here.
No, but Archie always orders pig's knuckles when they're on the menu.
Jug, be quiet.
Mister, are you or ain't you gonna order?
Oh, me, waiter, I guess not until my son gets back here.
Okay, but I'm a very busy man. Why don't some people make up their minds, if any?
Mary, would you mind telling me why you let Archie go to make a phone call now? Couldn't he have waited until we had placed our order? We're going to be here all day.
Fred, there's no sense arguing over it now. I thought you knew what the boy wanted. Now be patient. He'll be back here in a minute, and then we can place our order with no trouble.
All right, dear, all right. But how I get into these things, I'll never know.
Mr. Andrews, while we're waiting for Archie, I'll go wash my hands.
No, you don't. You're going to stay right here. I'm not going to spend all day looking for you and waiting for you and Archie to run around this restaurant.
Gee whiz, Mr. Andrews, my mother says it's good manners to wash your hands before you eat.
I don't...
And I got good manners.
Yes, Jughead.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Jughead. All right, go wash your hands. Wash your face. Take a bath if you want to.
Mr. Andrews, they don't have bathtubs and washrooms.
True. Jughead, never mind the humor. Just go wash your hands.
Okay. Well, where's the washroom?
Where's the washroom? Jughead, how should I know? I didn't build this place. I'm only trying to eat here.
Well, Fred, ask the waiter. He's right there.
All right. Waiter.
Whoa! Don't tell me you're ready to order at last.
Well, not...
Good. I was beginning to think you'd never make up your mind.
Yes, but...
Did you decide on a fried chicken or a pork chop?
Well,
order spare ribs. I got all the other orders, so just tell me what you like.
The washroom.
Yeah, with or without gravy. The washroom? What are you talking about?
Your friend, Jughead, wants to wash his hands, and he doesn't know where the washroom is.
Oh, brother. Jughead, it's right down that way, second door to the right.
Thank you. Be right back, Mr. Andrews.
The washroom? Some people come in here to eat, you know.
You see, that waiter is starting to get awfully annoyed with us. Now, we can't...
It doesn't matter. As soon as Archie gets back here and we get his order, everything will be straightened out. Here he comes now.
And about time. Archie, what did you order? Chicken or...
Dad, give me a nickel, quick.
Archie, what's the hurry?
I wanted to discover I didn't have enough change.
Archie, that can wait. I want to know what you
But,
ordered.
Dad, the operator's waiting on the line. I said I'd be right back.
All right, here's the nickel. But, Archie, please tell me what you ordered.
Dad.
Archie, was it pork chops or spare ribs? Oh, fine. Mary, we're never going to get any dinner today.
Now, Fred, calm down. Archie'll be back in a minute. He couldn't keep the operator waiting.
Oh, no, not the operator. But he can keep us waiting all afternoon.
Fred, we have to wait for Jughead anyway. Oh, here he is now.
Hello.
Well, Jughead, did you find the washroom all right?
Nope.
Nope.
I went down that way and took the second door to the right like Mr. Thompson said. And there I was in the kitchen.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. They had a big sink in there, but they wouldn't let me use it.
No, Jughead, I guess not. You see, they have other things to do in the kitchen than let you wash your hands.
Yes. Maybe Mr. Thompson's left-handed. I'll look down this way.
Mary, I tell you, I have never in all my days seen anyone like that Jughead. He is absolutely the most...
Fred, never mind Jughead. Here comes Archie again, and we can order our dinner now.
Well, hallelujah. Well, did you make your phone call?
Yes, Dad, I got her all right. And it's a good thing, too, because Veronica wants me to go...
I don't care where she wants you to go. Just tell me what you want for dinner so I can place the order.
Place the order? See, what you mean you haven't even ordered yet?
No, Archie, I forgot what you wanted. Was it pork chops or spare ribs?
Fried chicken.
Oh, great.
You see, Fred, I told you.
Mary, never mind whether you told me or not. Let's get that waiter back here. Waiter, oh, waiter!
You're not calling me by any chance?
Yes, I certainly am, and I see no need for sarcasm.
Mister, I am not sarcastic. I'm just amazed that you're really ready to order.
Well, I am. I want the roast beef.
Roast beef.
My wife wants the lamb chop.
Lamb chop.
Jughead wants the porterhouse steak.
Steak.
And my son wants the...
Archie Andrews, of all people.
Oh, great.
Why, Betty, hello, dear. Hello, Mrs. Andrews. Hello, Mr. Andrews. Golly, what are you folks doing here?
I'm beginning to wonder, Betty.
We're having dinner here, Betty, but what are you doing here?
The same thing. We come down here lots of times. Isn't the food wonderful?
Betty, we haven't the vaguest idea. We haven't even had a smell of food yet.
You haven't? Well, golly, then I'll join you.
Now, Betty,
Fred, don't start another scream.
But, Mary, I can't...
Sir, are you or ain't you going to order?
I ain't. I mean, I'm not. We're going to need a bigger table.
A bigger table.
Miss Cooper here is joining us.
Oh, all right. Follow me. A bigger table. We usually get banquet reservations in advance.
Mary, I don't see why that waiter has to get so nasty. Does he think I like this? Does he think that I like this?
That's how waiters are.
Here's the table for 6. I hope you're not expecting anyone else.
Waiter, I hope so, too. Now, for Pete's sake, everyone sit down and get settled and let's order.
Sure, Dad, I'm starved. Well, I'm getting a little hungry, too.
Me too.
So am I. Now, we know what we want. What'll you have, Betty?
Me? Oh, I'm not eating, Mr. Andrews. I just finished dinner.
Good. Just finished dinner? Betty, you mean you let us go to all the trouble of changing tables just so you could sit with us?
Golly, I thought you understood that. I was just leaving here with my folks when I saw you and came over to say hello.
Oh, me. Betty, why didn't you
Fred,
say...
don't go into it now. Just place your order.
Yeah, Fred. Just place your order.
All right, waiter. You have all the orders but my son's, and he wants fried chicken.
All right.
Fried chicken?
Yes, Betty, fried...
Oh, golly, Mr. Andrews, that's one thing you shouldn't order here.
But, Betty,
Why not? Because they don't know how to make fried chicken here.
Lady, what's wrong with our fried chicken?
Oh, it's always so soggy and cold.
Betty, please. Archie wants fried chicken,
But,
so
Fred,
Archie...
Betty must know what she's talking about. She eats here all the time.
Mister, I'm not here to get into an argument on our fried chicken. If you don't want fried chicken, take spaghetti.
I had spaghetti yesterday.
Oh, great. Waiter, you'll have to give us a few more minutes to settle this.
Oh, sure. Sure, but please, make up your mind. I go off duty in 5 hours.
Barry, that waiter is getting positively
Fred, forget it and find out what Archie wants.
I have been trying to do nothing but that ever since we set foot in here.
Golly, I'm sorry if I caused any trouble, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, you didn't, Betty. Now, Archie, what do you want to eat?
Fried chicken.
Now, let's not go into that again. You can't have fried chicken. What else?
Pig knuckles and sauerkraut.
Archie!
Okay, make it the pork chop.
All right, pork chops. Now, are pork chops healthy enough for you, Mary?
Of course, dear.
Are the pork chops cooked well enough for you, Betty?
Oh, yes, they serve wonderful pork chops.
Good. Since it has been moved, seconded, and unanimously agreed that Archie may have pork chops, I shall now order pork chops.
Hey, Archie!
Good grief, what's that?
He can't find it since we moved to this table.
Oh, great. Archie,
here we are.
I want to...
Over this way.
Archie,
Can't you see me,
Archie,
John?
for Pete's sake, be quiet!
Mister, do you have to make so much noise?
Wait, I'm sorry. Jughead got lost and he was calling for Archie, and I... Yes, Jughead, here we are. I hope your hands are thoroughly washed.
Nope.
Nope? Did you say nope?
Yep. I went down that aisle and took the second door to my left, and there I was in a phone booth.
Oh, boy. Jughead, how did you expect to wash your hands in a phone booth?
I didn't. But since I was there, I called home and asked my mother if I had to wash my hands, and she said my hands were very clean now.
Oh, fine. Well, Jughead, I'm glad that's all settled. So if you'll just be quiet for 2 minutes, I'll give the waiter our order.
I'm quiet like a mouse.
Okay. Waiter, my son has finally decided to have the...
There you are, everybody.
She was Veronica.
No.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello, Veronica.
Veronica, would you just sit down while
Hello, Archie.
Archie, I want...
Hi, all our chickens.
Please.
It's awful nice to see you all, Archie.
Mister, what the dickens is tickling this kid?
I've been trying to find that out for years. And I think he'll quiet down now, so just bring him some fried chicken.
Oh, not the chicken, Mr. Andrews. I told you, they don't make that very well here.
Oh, that's right, waiter.
Eddie, what are you doing here?
Veronica,
I decided on pork chop
Yes,
back.
Archie, I'm going to... Jughead, will
Anything
you...
wrong with my being here, Veronica?
Betty,
Now,
please.
girls, don't start a
Mary,
fight.
just
Mister, are you going to order today or not?
Waiter, I don't like games. Now, just a minute. Just a minute. Now, this nonsense has gone quite far enough. I see no reason why we can't come into a restaurant, sit down and order a meal, and eat it peacefully and quietly like normal human beings. Huh, normal.
Yes, Mr. Andrew. Yes, dear.
Yes, Dad. And how?
Oh, just be quiet. Now, I am going to order right now for everyone, and I want no complaints, suggestions, or criticisms of any kind from anyone. Now, is that clear? I've been trying to give this waiter our order for half an hour, and by George, I am going to, right now, and nothing is going to stop me.
Want to bet?
And I've had enough of your sarcasm, too. Yes, I want to bet. I'll bet you $5, and I'll put it right up now, and we'll see just how smart you... How smart... Oh, good grief.
Fred, what is it?
I left all my money home.
Left your money home?
Yes.
Fred, you mean we can't have dinner now after all?
Dear, I'm sorry. I thought I had...
Well, we're home again. Yes. And I don't know when I was so glad to be here.
Oh, Mary, I feel exactly the same way. And if you want to know something, after the way that waiter acted, I intend never to go back to that restaurant again. Never.
Oh, my goodness, Fred.
Huh? What?
I'm afraid you'll have to go back.
Have to go back? What do you mean?
You're wearing somebody else's coat.
You've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Charles Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie is played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Holland Stone, Mom and Dad Andrews are played by Alice Sherman and Arthur Cole, Veronica and Betty by Gloria Mann and Rosemary Rice. This program is produced and directed by Kenneth McGregor.
That was Archie from 1949, and now we return to the home of Henry Aldrich. This episode is from September 21st, 1952. Don't smoke in bed and enjoy the show.
Henry Aldrich. Coming, Mother.
Yes, it's The Aldrich Family, written by Clifford Goldsmith. A teenage boy has always scampered across the American scene. Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, Penrod, Peck's bad boy. Maybe there's a good reason why. Maybe in a typical American boy like Henry Aldrich, people can see someone they once were or once knew. The scene opens on the front porch of the Aldrich home. The time is late afternoon.
Gee, Homer, you're just worrying over nothing.
Well, Henry, that isn't the way my father said he would have done it.
Well, my father will get it, Homer. Why do you think he's taking the time to drive way out to Mr. Frederick's farm if he can?
Oh, boy, I certainly hope he can collect it.
Homer, he's going to tell Mr. Frederick right straight to his face how much he owes us for the work we did this summer.
And your father thinks he can get it all?
Sure he can, Homer. He'll get our whole $8.
Well, my father said that if a man owed him that much for working as hard as we did, he wouldn't go all the way out there. He'd just sue him.
Boy, Homer, your father doesn't know anything about a thing like that. All he does is sell lumber. Gee whiz, my father's one of the best lawyers in the state. He can talk anyone into giving him money.
How?
Well, I don't know, but it's a knack you have if you're a lawyer. And nobody puts anything over on my father. When he goes after a thing, he gets it.
He does?
And how? You just wait until he comes back and hands us each $4. But, Father, didn't I make it clear Mr. Frederick owed us $8?
Henry, for the last time, I collected it.
In money, Mr. Aldrich?
No, Homer, not in money. As I said before, I collected the equivalent.
Sam, what do you mean by the equivalent?
I mean, Alice, that Mr. Frederick didn't have the cash. So he paid it in corn.
In what?
Corn, Mrs. Aldrich.
Gee, Father, not that we don't appreciate your trying, but what Homer and I had really planned and was, well, you know, money.
Gee whiz, Mr. Aldrich. My father said
Never mind what your father said, Homer. There's nothing wrong with being paid in corn. It's the ancient principle of barter and exchange.
It is?
Of course. It's a simple case of applied economics. You boys will learn a great deal from this transaction.
It's taught me one thing already.
I'm glad to hear it, Homer.
The next time I do any work, I'm getting my money in advance.
Now, Homer,
Sam, how much corn did he give the boys?
tomorrow morning, Alice, he's driving his truck in with 12 bushels.
12 bushels of corn?
Yes, Mrs. Aldrich, 12 bushels.
Where in heaven's name are you going to keep it?
In the basement, Mother, until we can figure out what to do with it.
Well, that's very nice, I'm sure.
Mr. Aldrich, how much is it worth, a bushel?
Well, I'm afraid it isn't worth a great deal right now, but naturally, if you hold it, you'll find the price will fluctuate.
Sure it will.
What do you mean, fluctuate, Henry?
Boy, Homer, you sure are dumb. It means that... Tell him, will you, Father?
The fluctuation reflects the cost of living. The price may be down, but only temporarily. Sooner or later, it'll go up.
Sam, what is it you're suggesting the boys do? Trade in corn?
Now, Alice, it'll be a very good experience for them. They'll learn the principles of supply and demand. This will teach them the value of money.
Gee whiz, Father, I know the value of money. It's the value of corn I'm worrying about.
Well, don't worry about it, dear. You and Homer can corner the market with your 12 bushels and make a killing when it goes up.
Alice, for heaven's sake.
I'm sorry, Sam. Please hurry and get ready for dinner.
Were you including me, Mrs. Aldrich?
Why, no, Homer, I wasn't. However, if you feel that you want to stay...
Oh, I couldn't stay unless I was specially asked.
Well, in that case, dear, perhaps the next time.
Could you start that over again, Mrs. Aldrich?
Come on, Homer, I'll go to the door with you.
Well, thanks for your trouble, Mrs. Aldrich. And thank you for your trouble, Mr. Aldrich.
No trouble at all.
Understand, Henry, I'm not criticizing. Only you should have gotten my father to handle this.
Now, listen, is that a slur on my father?
Oh, gee whiz, no. The only thing is, I don't know how he makes a living.
Homer, 12 bushels of corn or 12 bushels of corn?
Well, I can figure that much myself. But when I go up to the dance committee and get 2 tickets for the class dance, what am I going to hand them? 6 bushels of corn? That hasn't even fluctuated yet?
Well, you aren't any worse off than I am. I've asked Eleanor Wentworth, haven't I?
Boy, I don't know how I'm going to be able to face Betty Newton.
Listen, Homer, why don't you see if your mother wouldn't be interested in buying it? To can.
The whole 12 bushels?
We could quote her a reasonable price.
Sure. You want my mother to get us out of a hole that your father got us into.
Homer, we aren't in any hole. You just don't realize how valuable that corn is going to be.
When?
When it fluctuates. When it fluctuates.
Henry, in which room is the class holding the meeting?
Right there in 2A. Did you try the Wayside Market, Homer?
Yes, Henry, I've been everywhere. Did you go to the neighborhood grocery?
Yes.
And they said the same thing everybody else did?
No, they just laughed.
Well, didn't you tell them what your father said about the price?
Homer, people who are laughing aren't in the mood to talk business.
Boy.
I don't know why I want to go to this meeting anyway. All they're going to talk about is the class dance. Did Eleanor Wentworth go in?
Sure.
And I'll bet the first thing they ask us is, have we bought our tickets?
Oh, quiet, Henry.
Has the meeting started?
No further business, meeting adjourned.
You've all heard the minutes of the last meeting. Are there any announcements?
Mr. President,
The chair recognizes Toby Wilson.
although most of the tickets for the dance a week from this Saturday have been sold, there are still a few guys holding back.
Oh, boy.
Let's not have any slackers, fellas. Let's make it 100%.
I'm going out, Henry.
No, Homer, they'll see you.
Are there any other announcements?
Mr. President,
Jimmy Bartlett.
Mr. President, I've been a member of this class for a good many years now. And, well, I'd like to ask why the tickets have to cost so much.
Mr. President, that's what I say. Well, I think the price of the ticket should fluctuate like the cost of living.
Homer, would you mind explaining that?
Well, if you don't know, it's not going to do any good to tell you. And it isn't the money I mind, it's a principle.
Homer, I believe the price of tickets was fully discussed at the last meeting, and you're out of order.
What do you mean I'm out of order? I wasn't even at the last meeting. I think we ought to have more principle all the way around.
Homer, be quiet.
Order, please. Order. Are there any other announcements?
Mr. President,
Betty Newton.
I make a motion that the chairman of the dance read off the list of those boys who haven't bought their tickets yet.
The list will be read at the next meeting. Are there any other announcements?
Mr. President.
Yes, Henry.
I make a motion that we postpone the dance.
For how long?
for about 4 weeks.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No! Mr. President, I make a motion that no boy in this class be allowed to bring any girl to the dance that isn't in the class.
Mr. President!
Yes, Toby?
I object. That amounts to no less than confiscation of personal rights.
Mr. President.
Henry Aldrich.
I've been listening with great interest to all the complaints about this dance, and naturally it worries me. I'm not sure, but I think I have a suggestion. We had a good dance last year, and we had a good dance the year before. And I guess if we're all here, we'll have another one next year. Yeah, I certainly hope we will, because I like to dance. But gee, I don't know. Sometimes I start wondering if dancing is everything in life. How about trying something else, just 1 year? The evenings are nice now. They're a little chilly, maybe, but we're going to have a moon, I think. Why waste our time indoors, just dancing?
Well, what do you suggest?
Why, a sort of corn roast.
A what?
I make a motion that this class show a little originality and initiative and have a corn roast.
I second the motion.
Order, please. Order.
Mr. President, I never heard of anything so ridiculous. All I can say is, who wants a corn roast?
I do, Mr. President.
Wait a minute, Henry Aldrich. I'm not through dancing yet. talking.
The only trouble with having a corn roast is, where are you going to get the corn? It's hard to find this time of year. But if we have enough initiative and originality to want a corn roast, then I'm willing to personally guarantee that I will find the corn. Somehow.
I second that motion, too.
What motion, Homer?
What?
There wasn't any motion.
Well, then I make one.
Oh, sit down.
Now, wait a minute. Where are your principles?
Homer, shut up.
There has been a motion that instead of a dance, we show little originality and initiative by holding a corn roast. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No!
The boys have it. It'll be a corn roast.
Homer, tell Henry Aldrich somebody wants him outside.
I'm wanted outside?
Somebody wants you out in the main office.
Hey, come on, Homer, I'm wanted.
Mr. President, does this mean we will or will not have punch also?
Gee, Henry, did you steamroller that?
Homer, it just happens that I did it for the sake of the class.
You did?
Sure. I really think a corn roast is a better idea than a dance. And if it happens that we have the corn they need, we'll let them have it. Just what they need, no more and no less.
Well, how much do you think they'll need, Hen?
About 12 bushels.
Henry, I wonder who wants you in the front office.
Henry Aldrich.
Where did you come from, Eleanor?
I just followed you out of the class meeting, and I want to tell you that every girl in there is so mad at you, they're never going to speak to you again.
They're all mad at me?
My goodness, Henry. You even invited me to go to the class dance with you.
Well, sure, Eleanor, but let me explain.
Henry, I even bought a dress for the dance, a brand new taffeta dress.
Well, look here, what's
Don't I look nice eating corn on the cob in taffeta?
Yeah, but gee whiz, Eleanor, all we did was substitute a corn roast for the dance.
And you can just substitute another girl. Goodbye.
Eleanor, wait.
Oh, no, I won't.
Eleanor, wait. Wait.
Homer Brown.
Oh, boy. Come on, Henry. Here comes Betty.
You wait for me, Homer Brown.
Oh, did you want to speak to me?
Yes, I do. Do you realize I can't eat sweet corn?
Why not?
'Cause I got this brace on my teeth. And I've got to wear it for 3 more months.
Gee whiz, Betty, you're too self-conscious about it.
That's right. It's not the least bit noticeable. Unless you smile.
Don't be...
But gee whiz, Betty.
Henry Aldrich.
Oh, boy, who's that?
It's your sister, Henry.
Mary? What's she doing here in school?
Oh, has she got a complaint, too?
Henry, I've been waiting for you in the main office. Here, you left this morning without your lunchbox.
Oh, well, thanks very much.
And, Henry, when you come home from school this afternoon, you're to stop at the store and see if you can get 12 ears of fresh-picked corn.
Corn?
Yes.
We've got corn. Gee whiz, 12 bushels came this morning before I left the house.
But Mother says we can't eat that, Henry. My goodness, how could we eat it?
Why couldn't we?
It's horse corn.
It's what corn?
Horse.
Horse?
Horse? Does that mean we can't have the corn roast?
Homer, that means if anything is going to be roasted, it'll be us.
The Aldrich family will be back in just a moment, but first, Tonight on most of these same NBC stations, you can enjoy more comedy with Theater Guild on the Air. This week, Theater Guild on the Air stars Van Heflin, Ann Rutherford, and Kenny Delmar in George Washington Slept Here. Already seen on Broadway and a hit in the movies, this George S. Kaufman Mosshardt comedy deals with a city man who discovers the country, where running water usually means there's a brook in the backyard. Hear Theater Guild on the Air's presentation of George Washington Slept Here later this evening. And finally, no program lineup would be complete without some of the top NBC news shows. And Sunday is no exception. For tonight, NBC brings you Martha Roundtree's Meet the Press. Tonight's second news feature is the American Forum of the Air, and the discussion topic is, which party is the working man's friend? Offering as guest panel members Secretary of Labor Morris Tobin and Fred Hartley, co-author of the Taft-Hartley Labor Act. Your moderator will be Theodore Granich. Yes, that's the NBC program scheduled for tonight. Just stay tuned for the tops in radio. And now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Well, Henry and Homer have talked the junior class into holding a corn roast instead of a dance in order to sell their 12 bushels of corn. While congratulating themselves on their success, they learn that they have in their possession not sweet corn, but horse corn. The scene opens that afternoon in the Aldrich basement.
Understand, Henry, I'm not criticizing your father, but don't you think he should have known this was horse corn?
Why should he have? After all, my father's a lawyer, not a farmer. To him, corn is corn.
Well, listen, Henry, I've been thinking. Couldn't we still sell it to the class, even if it is really just for horses?
Look, Homer, you see this front tooth?
Yes?
I lost that tooth once, biting into an ear of horse corn.
Looks all right to me.
Sure, it grew out again, but the one I had, I lost.
You did?
Sure. And you want us to be responsible for the whole class losing their front teeth?
Well, couldn't we soak it in butter and soften it up a little? And not serve it until after dark?
No, Homer.
Oh, well, here we are, Henry, stuck with those 12 bushels of horse food, and the whole junior class is waiting for something to eat.
Mother, please, let me finish.
Eleanor, I don't want to hear another word about the class dance.
But, Mother, it isn't to be a dance. It's to be a corn roast. And Henry Aldrich expects me to go with him.
But you're not going out and buy clothes just for a corn roast. We bought you a lovely taffeta dress to dance in. Oh, why aren't you having the dance?
Henry thought it would be much more original for us not to have one.
Well, you have plenty of clothes that are good enough to eat corn in.
But nothing that Henry hasn't seen me in before. And this is going to be a very original occasion.
Dear, you can't expect me to buy you a dress for every single occasion. It's silly, Eleanor.
But, Mother, I'll economize. I'll get something that I can wear to corn roasts and weenie roasts. Oh, Mother, if I don't get a new dress, I'll just die. I know it.
Well, I'd have a hard time explaining that to your father.
Oh, I'll die.
All right.
Mother.
Can you meet me at the Emporium tomorrow?
Oh, yes, Mother, and thank you. I saw just the thing down there I have in mind. Sit right where you are, Mother. I'll answer the phone for you. Hello?
Hello, is this Eleanor?
Yes?
This is Biddy. I just had a great idea.
What about?
Well, you know that corn roast we're having?
Yes.
Well, my uncle has a cabin down by the lake, and I asked him whether the whole class could meet there. And what do you think, Eleanor?
What?
He said he'd be very glad to let us have it, and he's sending 2 men out there to get the whole thing cleaned up for us.
Really?
Yes. I think it's a very original idea, don't you?
Yes. I was just telling my mother.
And what else do you think?
What?
The dentist is going to take the brace off my teeth.
He is?
As a special favor, just for the weekend.
That's wonderful.
And oh, boy, am I looking forward to it.
I should imagine.
I think it's terribly exciting.
I should think you would.
And how? You know, it's been years since I've eaten sweet corn.
Quiet, please. Quiet. Why can't we have an orderly class meeting for a change?
Gee, Henry, everything's going swell. They haven't even mentioned the corn roast.
Quiet, Homer. I think they've forgotten they voted on it.
Quiet, please. Quiet. The next item on the agenda is a report on the corn roast. Where is Henry Aldrich?
Oh, boy, Homer.
There he is, Mr. President.
Is that Aldrich back in the corner?
Yes, Mr. President.
Will you make a report?
Well, I'd like to say a few words on that subject. It has come to my attention that some of the people around here are a little upset by the corn situation. We've always been pretty proud of the harmony in the class, and I think it would be a great mistake if we let an innocent suggestion by me about having a corn roast split us wide open. After all, we have our annual whatchamacallits to have a good time. And for that reason, I think it's foolish to go ahead willy-nilly with a corn roast.
I second the motion. No motion has been made yet, Homer.
Then I second it when it's made.
Oh, you're out of order.
Is that so? Well, just as a matter of principle, I'd like to know...
Sit down, Homer.
Okay.
If you're opposed to a corn roast, Henry, what do you suggest in its place?
A dance.
Mr. President, we girls have a right to know where we stand around here. After getting us worked up to the point where we want corn, you're going to make us dance?
Don't misunderstand me, Betty. I think we ought to have a dance and corn. Only work them together so that everybody will be satisfied and there won't be any hard feelings.
How?
Well, why couldn't we show a little originality and initiative and have sort of a barn dance? You know what I mean? Only not a plain, ordinary barn dance. This would be different. The decorating. Nothing but ears of corn.
Mr. President, I second that motion.
Mr. President, may I ask why we can't have corn to eat instead of just corn for decorations?
Because along this time of the year, Toby, you take horse corn, for instance. It's very colorful and nice to look at. While sweet corn is liable to be tough. You don't want to lose a tooth when you're out on a social event, do you?
I can take care of my teeth.
But I say, why take a chance? After all, we can eat corn any old time. Why get into a rut? I think we ought to be the first class in the history of Central High or any other school that has the originality and initiative to have a plain corn dance.
Mr. President, I have the floor first. No, you didn't. Yes, I did.
Order, please. The chair recognizes Eleanor Wentworth.
Mr. President, I'd like to protest. Just because the majority in this class is composed of boys, that doesn't give the boys any right to change their minds every 10 seconds. We girls have a right to know what's going to happen to us. I demand that a vote be taken.
Now, wait a minute, Eleanor.
I demand that a vote be taken on our having a simple, informal dance in evening clothes.
No!
Yes!
No! Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President!
Mother, did you hear what happened at Henry's school today?
No, Mary.
My goodness, I don't know what started it, but one of the classes practically had a riot.
Really?
I understand they had to call in 6 hall monitors and the gym teacher to quiet them down.
What was the trouble?
I don't know, but they tell me the class is in a terrible condition. Nobody's speaking to anybody.
Well.
There's even some talk of when they graduate, they're going to have 2 separate commencements.
What for?
Well, the girls say they won't be seen graduating from the same platform as the boys.
Come on into the living room.
Is that you, Henry?
Yes, Mother.
Hello, Mrs. Aldrich. Hi, Mary.
Hello, Homer. Henry, how on earth did you get your shirt torn?
My shirt? My shirt? Oh, gee whiz.
Do you know who I think tore it, Henry?
Who?
Betty.
When did she do that?
Right after Natalie White slapped his face.
Henry, what did she slap your face for?
I took the floor away from her.
You what?
I took the floor away from her. We had a class meeting.
Homer, you better get some mercurochrome for your face. It's all scratched up.
That was Madeline Miller.
My goodness, she must have long fingernails.
Not anymore.
Henry, you didn't get into a fight with any of the girls, did you?
Gee whiz, no. I was a gentleman through the whole thing.
I don't understand what caused the whole thing.
Well, we had what you might call a close vote. See, Mother?
But we got it through, didn't we, Henry?
What did you get through?
Oh, just a little motion I made. Listen, Mother, where'd you put the corn?
The corn?
Sure, my 12 bushels.
Oh, no, it isn't, Mrs. Aldrich.
Yes, it is, Homer.
Mary, we were just down there, and there wasn't even one basket there.
Well, I don't understand it.
Mother, did you go out at all today?
Yes, I did.
Did you lock all the doors?
Oh, but the back door.
Oh, boy.
You think our corn's been stolen, Henry?
Sure it has, Homer. Sure it has.
Dear, don't be ridiculous. No one is going to steal 12 bushels of corn you can't eat.
Corn? You boys aren't worried about the corn, are you?
We sure are, Father.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, dear.
Do you know anything about the corn, Sam?
I certainly do.
Who took it?
Who took it? I did.
You did.
After all, I wasn't going to let Mr. Frederick stick my own son with a load of useless horse corn. No, sir. So I just went out there and made him take it back.
You haven't got the corn anymore?
I should say not.
Did Mr. Fredericks give you the money?
No, potatoes.
Potatoes?
Nobody puts anything over on Sam Aldrich, let me tell you. I'm a pretty sharp trader, you know.
But, Father... Mr. Aldrich...
Don't bother to thank me. It was my own fault for not being more careful in the first place.
But, Father... Mr. Aldrich...
I let him know quite plainly I would stand for no nonsense.
But, Father...
Mr. Aldrich...
Look, Betty. See that window in the Emporium? That dress in the center?
Yeah.
That's exactly like the one I got for the corn roast. Only mine was blue.
And they won't let you take it back?
No. That's why my mother's so mad at our class. Well, look, Betty, I guess you're going on, and this is about as far as I go.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye. Eleanor. Oh, hello, Mother. I wondered whether you'd be here.
Now, Eleanor, are you sure you have to buy a special outfit just for a barn dance?
Oh, my goodness, yes. After all, I can't wear a corn roast dress to a corn dance, especially when the whole dance was Henry's idea.
Henry, what are we going to do? Let's just wait and see if something happens.
Well, we're still stuck with the potatoes.
Homer, relax. Take it easy.
My father says that's the trouble. We've been taking it easy when we should have been tough. I'm going to make a motion.
What motion?
Well, I don't know yet. Mr. President!
Homer Brown.
I had the floor first.
Nobody recognized you.
Sit down, Homer.
As long as there is some doubt about who had the floor first, I think we should recognize the young lady.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm glad to see there's a little chivalry left in this school.
Mr. President, this is a matter of principle.
Betty Newton has the floor.
Thank you. I should like to bring to your attention an article in today's school paper, which is the most sensible thing I've ever read in my life. It's called In These Times. It says, in these times, it hardly seems fitting and proper for students who are planning a dance to spend their money on unnecessary decorations, such as corn. If the junior class really wants to hold a dance that will be long remembered, why don't they give a dance without the decorations and show a little originality and initiative by contributing that money in the form of food, like potato. In these times, it would be a very generous and appreciated step and would eliminate a lot of worries. Signed, a loyal classmate.
Mr. President, why must there be potatoes?
Because they're the staff of life.
That's bread.
Now listen, Toby. The person who wrote that article knew what he was talking about. And we're going to carry out his wishes.
Mr. President, I make a motion that this class give a dance. Just a plain, informal dance in evening dress. But without any other decorations. And that we use the proceeds to buy potatoes for people that are worried.
Hey, Mr. President.
Henry Aldrich.
I just want to say that since I was the one who first suggested the corn dance, after hearing that article, I'm ashamed of myself. I not only withdraw my suggestion, but I second Betty's motion.
Hey, Henry, who wrote that article?
What do you think?
Oh, gee whiz. Why didn't you tell me?
I even put the paper on Betty's desk.
Hey, Homer, there's a fellow in the hall that wants to see you.
He wants to see me? Who is it?
I don't know. Somebody just told me.
Come on, Homer, let's get out. We're sitting pretty.
I'll say we are.
Order! Order! All those in favor of our contributing the dance proceeds to potatoes instead of decorating with corn, please signify by...
Henry, do you see anyone out here?
No.
Hello, Homer.
Father, what are you doing here?
Well, I just went out and had a talk with that farmer who owed you money.
You did, Mr. Brown?
Yes, sir, and I fixed things. I told him he couldn't unload first horse corn and then old potatoes that were even sprouting. Maybe he could do that to Sam Aldrich, but he couldn't do it to me.
You mean you got our money, Father?
No, he didn't have any cash. But I made him come across with 25 baskets of spinach.
Spinach? Oh, boy, Homer, not even the poor will take spinach.
Within the next 20 seconds, a fire will break out somewhere in the United States. Yes, there are 4,600 fires in America each day. By obeying a few simple rules, we can protect ourselves from this devastating menace. Don't smoke in bed or discard lighted cigarettes carelessly. And be careful with matches. Remember, it doesn't pay to gamble with fire. You can't win.
Hello?
And just one more thing, Henry.
Is this you again, Eleanor?
It certainly is. The more I think about it. A spinach dance. A spinach dance. And I have a brand new yellow taffeta.
Well, couldn't you go as a slice of egg?
The Aldrich Family is written by Clifford Goldsmith. Henry is played by Bobby Ellis, and Homer by Johnny Fiedler. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jameson and Catherine Roth. Your announcer is Dick Dudley. Listen again next week, same time, same station, for another sparkling half hour with the Aldrich Family.
Good night, everybody.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.